Okay. This is actually happening. I think it's time I embrace it. Now, it's been a couple of days since Kamware has been released, the lead single to my album. And this song has a very, has a very long story that I really want to share with you because honestly, there's a huge lesson from it, and I thought that it would be really ideal to share this with you. At the beginning of this month, I reached out on Instagram to a lot of you guys, and nikawambia kuna shoot na happen, and I'm looking for people to appear in the video. Now, bearing in mind that this song is already way out of my comfort zone, I'm not used to doing this kind of shoots that we did for this song, but I still was very committed to it. We went, shot the video, and it was amazing. I just remember seeing how people were happy, and it was just crazy to my head to see how strangers, literal strangers, came through for me. And I remember the shoot was happening on a Tuesday. It's a Tuesday night. It's a working night, so to say, and people still chose to come through for me. People I had never met before. And that for me was quite overwhelming. And after we completed the shoot, I think I was so fulfilled in my heart knowing that we have a really good product. So fast forward, a week to the release. Now, I was getting ready to prepare the teaser for the video. And I remember my editor at that time noticed something strange was happening on the screen. The footage was not looking okay, but we genuinely thought that maybe it's because the project is too heavy, so the machine is not able to process the footage. So I remember very well that it was on a Tuesday evening, yeah, that's when we were working on the teaser. The song was supposed to drop 4 days from then. Actually, yes, 4 days from then. So on that Tuesday, we're trying to figure out what's happening with the footage, and then we tried to render some footage, and that's when we realized that, this footage could have a problem. And thus began one of the longest nights of my life, honestly. Because we sat there with my editor trying to figure out what's wrong with the footage. And I remember just seeing him Google every single thing that he could try and figure it out. And I'll try and explain in the most layman's of language what happened. The short version of it is, to date I still don't understand it, but I try to, is the footage had missing frames. Now, the way I understood it and the way I tried to explain to you is, I imagine if a camera takes 25 photos to form 1 second worth of continuous motion. So imagine out of 1 second, you only have 18 or 19. So you have basically missing footage. You have a missing sequence. It was complicated for my head, but yeah, it didn't make sense to me. Na kumbuka, we stayed in the studio until like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning. And I remember when he just turned, I remember this image, he was seated on this chair and I was sort of like behind him, and then he turned and akanambia, manze, I'm sorry Modest, but we don't have a video here. And sijaisikia such heartbreaking information my entire life until when he said that. Because I imagined I've spent so much money that I didn't have. All these people who have come through for me, people I don't even know. I need to insist that these are just pure strangers who've come through for me. And now I don't have a video. And to me, I was like, sir, like that's not something I want to hear when I'm expecting to release a song 4 days from now, and it's the lead single of my debut album. But now here we are. There's really nothing that we can do. We don't have footage that can be edited. So I remember we were just like, let's just go home and then regroup the following day. So when we left the building, I asked him one question, like, what options do we have? And I've never seen someone so confused with his, like, so confused that doesn't understand what's going on. But I just remember him saying that the only best option for this thing is to reshoot it. Now, that's the last thing I wanted to hear. Then I remember now the journey from the studio all the way to penye nilienda kupanda mat, it was the longest time. This is 4 a.m. in the morning. I didn't even know where I was going. I remember I was just walking randomly in town. Nikifikiria, and I'm just like, why does this thing have to happen to me? I've done everything the right way. I hustled for money. I hustled for locations, the crew, all these things. I did the song sound so good. And now here I am with no video. Nakumbuka nikaenda kupanda mat and nimefika hivi stage, ndio juu siku shetani alikuwa ananifuata. Nimefika stage and then naona tu mat ndio imejaa, like they've even carried like excess people. So that means I have to get into the next matatu. Now, mind you, this is like 3:30 a.m. in the morning, and that means mat ita take hours and hours kuja. Nakumbuka tu nikiingia the next matatu, sat next to the driver, and I was just like, when niamshe manzi mat ikija, because I was just, niko nasikia if I'm alive, I'll probably even kill myself. But it was crazy because I was trying to imagine that all this hard work is about to go all into waste. Now, fast forward to the following day. I came to studio in the afternoon, and I was just like, I have to get above this situation, because I can't let one setback ruin everything that I've been working for the last 7-8 months with preparing this album. So I remember just, again, going to my editor, and I was like, bro, we're reshooting this thing. I don't care. I don't care if I will be alone in that video. And mind you, at that time, I have spent every single coin I have. There's someone who made a joke, and I thought it's a joke until it started happening. Kuna mtu alisema, ile siku utafika unahesabu pesa ya Fuliza kaa yako. Hapo ndio unajua wewe na system, ushaingia kwa system. And at that time, so broke, I'm just like, nah, surely, how am I going to reshoot this video? But I was just like, I have to do it. So I told him, you know what, let's just reshoot this thing, let's just redo it, and I don't care how it's gonna happen. So I told him that we have one day to reshoot this thing, because now also I did not want it to affect the way the album is coming on. So we met the following day to try and come up with a concept. So now the current concept that you see with Kamware was also by chance. Like that wasn't even the initial plan for it. First, I remember I called Hilda and I was like, yo, we have to redo this thing. And I remember she was just like, yeah, let's do it. We can't let this song just go into waste. Bondi as well, like, man, I have so many people I need to thank, but we'll get there. So the concept, how it came across, I remember I just told my editor, well, let's do this. Let's try and recreate a club scene in one of his studios. And nakumbuka, he showed up with a laptop and we were just trying, you know what, let's try and project the word Kamware on screen. While he's doing that, while he was trying to load up the graphics, I remember I was like, I wonder what would happen if we actually projected like actual graphics on the screen. And I remember Ali played the first graphic and I was like, my brother, we have it. We have our concept. Because now I was worried. I was like, Sasa, how do we create a whole video just from one wall? And when he played that graphic, I was like, this is it. This is what we have to go for. Now, the whole shoot honestly went way much better than even the first one went. And nakumbuka, during the shoot, I was so stressed because I was just like, we have to make sure that it's better than the other one. But during this whole process, the people around me always kept on reminding me that, manze, hizi vitu zote zina happen for a particular reason. And I was struggling to see the reason back then. But looking back now, how you guys are enjoying and vibing to this thing, honestly, it overwhelms my heart. And it also made me feel a bit more human that mistakes are being done. Because I remember when I learned about the footage being messed up, I was like, surely, I don't even know who to get pissed at, because it's no one's fault. It was really no one's fault. But one, I want to say a huge thank you to each and every one of you who showed up for me during the first shoot. I can't take it for granted. I don't even know how to repay for that, because everything was very voluntary. And all the encouragement that has come my way, man, I'm really forever grateful for the entire crew that was there. Man, I'm very grateful. I don't even know what I can do to ever repay those guys and how much they really invested in this particular project. Because truth be told, I was giving up on it, but they really pushed me not to. Without making this a very sad video, again, man, a huge shout out to each and every one of you for the love and support that you've given me. And as we prepare for the album, I'm sure this is gonna be a very interesting journey, because also the album has a story. Oh my God. I don't know, my life is very dramatic, but I'll still share these stories with you. But thank you for the love and support. I love you guys. Correct.